I'm John Hopkins. I'm a forester and grass farmer from Northeast Pennsylvania. We have an 86-acre farm that is all grass and timber, and we raise hogs, what we refer to as woodlot pork, because we raise our pigs outside and in a woodlot. To this woodlot, you can see the fence right here. We've got a little tributary, a creek that runs down into Huntington Creek below us. So we have fenced out both sides of the creek, but we have animals on both sides and a little buffer zone in between. One of the things that we didn't count on was the emerald ash borer, and I never realized how much ash was a component of this farm until all our trees started dying. But you can see we've got a lot of ash, and what that has done in the last 3 years is it's opened up the canopy more than it originally was. So you can have good planning and shoot for a certain density or crown cover, but there's always things that come into play. We had a woodlot and had several woodlots here on the farm that were very unproductive. Predominantly Virginia pine or planted pine plantations that were stagnant and actually starting to decline in their health. And one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to release the hardwoods. In other words, remove the competition for sunlight and for moisture and for nutrients to the hardwoods by removing the stagnant and really mature softwoods that have been planted. So if you look around, we've got black cherry and sugar maple, red oak, ash, black oak, white pine, more cherry, red oak. And those are all mast producing trees, both hard mast and soft mast, which we can use to feed wildlife, but we can also use to supplement feed for an omnivore like a hog. So we left the hardwood trees, but then we had the forest floor exposed, and that's where the pigs come in, because pigs are born with this great cultivator on the end of their heads called the snout, and they are very prone to want to use that cultivator to root. That's how they get their minerals. That's how they eat grubs and insects out of the soil. And they are also grazers. So now they're eating weeds and grasses if they're growing, but they're cultivating the ground. And then once they've cultivated and we have mineral soil exposed, we can add seed on, the seed of our choice. We've been using orchard grass, perennial rye, some pasture mixes, some clover. We seed that on while the pigs are in there and let them run around. Now we have exposed mineral soil, we have seed we've put in, and we've got all these little cultipackers in the form of hooves and their snouts still digging, mixing that soil with the seed. And now we've got soil to seed contact, and that sets the goal of regenerating that stand into a new species, because now we can germinate that seed. But in order to do so, we need to move those pigs off. So we haven't grazed that yet, but he started them in that corner. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now they're on to paddock 6. And you can see, like, they really disturb the soil. A lot of this finer is stilt grass, but once we've got soil exposed, then we can seed it. They run around, pack it in, and this will look like that in a matter of probably 2 months. The rest is critical. If you leave any group of animals in one spot for too long and then you get wet weather or that kind of thing, you can have soil compaction problems. So keeping them moving, going with the weather. If you start to see damage to root systems, either fencing that out or getting them into a different area. Then in the fall, We can have seed. You come out here in the fall, you have to watch your head, especially if you're standing underneath the walnut trees, because we've got walnuts coming down and hickory seed, cherry out of the cherry trees, acorns, and these guys are great gleaners. They will just go along, clean everything up. We have a custom ration out here with grain and beans and oats and mineral. So they have a balance of different feedstuffs, and we feel like this environment, I mean, check them out. They're relaxed, they're shady, they're cool, but we really think this is as stress-free and as healthy an environment as we can provide on our farm. These pigs are from a conventional farm. When we bring them onto the farm, they're coming from a concrete area. They've never had really anything that they can chew on. And we put them in the barnyard and they go nuts. Just like discovery, chewing things, picking up a rock, a branch. And then when they get out here, they're just very relaxed. This is their recreation. And we don't need to do things like dock tails, and we don't have health issues, very little. We brought these pigs in the spring. They will be slaughtered in October, and they'll be probably 250, 300 pounds live weight by then. And then we can shut things down for the winter. And if we have grass regrowth, we can always come in with our cattle or the eggmobile or another species and just do a flash grazing. Maybe not as intense as the pigs, but the pigs are preparing our pasture for other species as well as themselves the next year.